Elsa Bloodstone popped up in the MCU in the Disney Plus special Werewolf by Night, played by Laura Donnelly. In that version, she's the estranged stepdaughter of Verussa Bloodstone, and with Marvel diving deeper into the supernatural side of things, there's a good chance she'll be back. Elsa was created by Dan Abnett, Andy Lanning, and Michael Lopez, first appearing in Bloodstone #1 in 2001. She's the daughter of Ulysses Bloodstone and sister to Cullen, and has been part of teams like Next Wave, the Midnight Suns, and the Fearless Defenders. In the comics, Elsa's got a pretty wild background. She lives in Bloodstone Manor with her mom Elise and Frankenstein's monster. Yes, really. She's even teamed up with a vampire lawyer named Charles Barnabas and Dracula himself to take down Nosferatu and his vampire army. Power-wise, she's stacked. She's super strong, fast, tough, and can heal quickly. Her blood is toxic to vampires, and she's got powers from the Blood Gem. Some she inherited, some from the gem she wears on a choker. She's also a skilled marksman and can shoot energy blasts from her right hand, which at one point was apparently ripped off and replaced by her dad with a magical one. She's known to carry various magical artifacts and weapons, including a genie lamp that acts as an alert system for supernatural threats. All in all, Elsa's a badass monster hunter with a no-nonsense attitude and a whole lot of potential in the MCU's future. In the special, Elsa crashes a monster hunter competition after her father Ulysses dies, hoping to claim the Bloodstone relic. She doesn't exactly follow in her dad's footsteps. She's not a fan of the whole monster hunting tradition. While there, she ends up bonding with Jack Russell, aka the Werewolf. In Werewolf by Night, we get to know her story. When Elsa was a kid, her dad used to tell her spooky stories about her Aunt Frances, one being that if she ever acted up, her aunt would rise from the grave and drag her into the tomb for company. Elsa grew up in her father Ulysses' home, surrounded by monster lore and tales about his relentless hunt against supernatural creatures. He also owned a powerful relic, the Bloodstone. But while he was obsessed with his crusade, Elsa bonded more with her mother, and both of them didn't care much for his monster hunting lifestyle. Eventually, her parents split in 2005 because of it all, and Elsa left with her mom. From there, she trained hard and became a skilled fighter. Fast forward to 2025, when Elsa finds out her father has died, she returns to Bloodstone Manor. She's not there for family reunions, she just wants to claim the Bloodstone relic. When she shows up, her stepmother Verussa greets her with some cold sarcasm. Inside, Elsa joins the monster hunters gathered in the main hall and watches as her stepmom shows off a creepy talking puppet version of Ulysses. The puppet explains the rules of a monster hunt to determine who gets the Bloodstone. Elsa quietly follows the group to the hunting grounds and soon crosses paths with Jack Russell. He tries to brush past her, but she's not buying it. When another hunter, Joshua Jovan, attacks, Elsa handles him like a pro, disarms him, takes his axe, and keeps moving. She and Jack end up working together, trusting each other enough to make a plan to recover the Bloodstone. While navigating the hunting grounds, Elsa stumbled into an opening and got ambushed by Leorn. The two fought hard. She took a hit to the leg, but managed to kill him. When another hunter, Azarel, showed up, Elsa dragged Leorn's body into a grave and held his mouth shut, cutting off his life support to stay hidden. Once the coast was clear, she limped off and hid inside a nearby tomb. While tending to her injured leg, Jack Russell showed up and closed the tomb door behind him, locking them both in. They ended up agreeing to team up. Elsa wanted the Bloodstone, and Jack needed help freeing his friend. She remembered that her late aunt believed she'd come back to life, so she'd hidden a key in her tomb. Elsa found it and used it to get them both out. Following their plan, Elsa found Man-Thing and cautiously approached him, calling him by his real name, Ted. That helped him realize she was an ally. Right after, Jovan attacked her again, but Man-Thing stepped in and melted him with his acid touch. Elsa led Ted to the escape point where Jack was supposed to set off explosives. After the wall blew open and Ted ran off, Elsa grabbed the Bloodstone, only to be confronted by her stepmother Verussa and the rest of the hunters. She and Jack were knocked out. Elsa woke up in a cage with Jack. She was understandably uneasy since she knew he was a werewolf. Jack reassured her that he had 5 days before transforming, but Elsa reminded him the Bloodstone could fast-forward that process. He started sniffing her, hoping to lock in her scent so he wouldn't attack her later. Just then, Verussa showed up and used the Bloodstone to force Jack to transform. Elsa watched, horrified, as Jack turned into the werewolf. He broke out and attacked the guards. Elsa jumped into the fight too, killing Barasso and then taking on Azarel, who was swinging a chain hammer. Elsa managed to redirect the weapon and took Azarel out with a clean slice. Afterward, she saw Verussa going after Jack and used her grappling hook to yank her down. But when Elsa went to pick up the Bloodstone, Jack, fully transformed, lunged at her. He tackled her, ready to kill, but stopped when he recognized her scent. He backed off and ran away. Elsa stood up and turned to find Verussa threatening her with a shotgun. Verussa called her a disappointment, but before she could fire, Man-Thing dropped in from above and incinerated her on the spot. Elsa calmly told Ted that Jack had already gone. He ran off to find him while Elsa returned to the main hall. There, Billy Swan tried to pledge his loyalty, but Elsa just told him to clean up the mess. Then she sat down and stared at the Bloodstone, finally in her possession. It was clear that it wasn't the end of the story, but the bigger start. And of Elsa's coming back, there's a good chance we'll see more of the Bloodstone legacy too. And honestly, I'm all in for Ulysses Bloodstone making a big splash. Ulysses first showed up in Marvel Presents #1 back in 1975, but later stories revealed he'd actually been around in earlier comics like Strange Tales #73 from 1951. In Marvel Universe #7, it's even revealed that Ulysses went by several different names across his very long life, like thousands of years long. He wasn't even Ulysses at first. He was born during the Hyborian Age and only became immortal after a run-in with a cosmic entity's servant, Ulixel Quan Te Sin. They fought over a powerful meteorite, and a shard of it ended up embedded in Ulysses' chest, turning him immortal. That shard became known as the Bloodstone. With the Bloodstone, Ulysses became a legendary monster hunter, using his strength and abilities to track down supernatural threats and one day take revenge on the Hellfire Helix. His long journey ended in Rampaging Hulk #8, where he finally beat his enemies, but the Bloodstone shattered, and without its power, Ulysses aged rapidly and died. Now, Cullen Bloodstone is someone else we need to see more of. First introduced in Avengers Arena #1, he's Elsa's younger brother. He was part of a twisted survival game run by Arcade, and Avengers Arena #14 dropped the bomb that Cullen had actually been stranded in another dimension after their father died before pulling him back from a training mission. He returned bonded with a creature called a Glartrox. To help him keep the monster in check, Elsa gave him a Bloodstone ring, which boosted his powers too. But Cullen embraced a darker path in Avengers Undercover, joining the Masters of Evil. Even after leaving that group, he went full anti-hero by hunting mutants from Krakoa in Excalibur #7 and 8. So now, in the comics, for the first time ever, all 3 surviving Bloodstone siblings, Elsa, Cullen, and Lyra, are finally together. And united, they're an insanely powerful family. If the MCU is really leaning into its supernatural corner, there's a ton of potential here. That's it for now. Which Bloodstone sibling do you want to see more of, Cullen or Lyra? Drop a comment below and don't forget to subscribe for more Marvel updates. We'll see you next time.